bit for people to join. We're going to get right into this. Because I have shocking news. Shocking news for all of you who thought transcendental meditation was good. I don't even like saying those words now. Seriously, I'm still like depersonalized, dissociated a little bit from doing it yesterday, a little bit compulsive racing thoughts. It's getting better. I think it'll go away. That's the way it is with depersonalization, derealization disorder. And it just triggered some of those symptoms. Damn it, every time this futon, it's got different heights depending on which part of this crappy seat I'm sitting in, so like I'm not framed right. That's better. I got my little table out, the laptop, and I gotta moisturize my hands. Oh, I'm tired of adjusting the height, the tilt. Come on, everyone. We've got a shocker of a story. I may as well start getting into this for people who watch later and whatever the case. The 3 people here. I'm looking up stuff about what harm can meditation do in transcendental meditation. I had one session yesterday doing it. No coach, nothing. That coaching stuff is such a load of crap. Granted, I don't know much about it, and so I'm saying as far as I can tell. The reason I'm saying as far as I can tell, they give you a mantra that you say during transcendental meditation, and that's all it is. You close your eyes, you say this mantra. Basically, that's all it is. And it's just a made-up word, or it's a word maybe you don't know the meaning of, like an old Sanskrit word or something. And they say, keep it for the rest of your life, never tell anyone else, or it'll lose its power. That is such a load of garbage, and they make you sign a secrecy agreement so you don't give away the teachings. And then apparently somebody contacted me and said, because they found me through a post I made about this, and said, yeah, they'll follow up with you, not follow up with you, but like once, if you pay whatever, an official, I don't know if there's such a, but somebody who trains you one-on-one in transcendental meditation for 4 days, that you'll have access to some kind of ability to check in with the teacher or some other teacher for the rest of your life, to if you ever have problems with it. And even now I'm having unpleasant sensations because I did this yesterday for 20 minutes because I tried meditating. And what they said is, these people, and again I'm saying as far as I know, everything could be made up everywhere. Yeah, and that's what meditators want you to think. But they said they never give you the option of just stopping. And you should stop if it's harmful for you. And I'm looking up to trying to understand, because I was panicking a little bit today, not feeling good, feeling nauseous, feeling dissociated. What the hell is going on with me? Because I've had lots of, if you don't know, if you're watching this, I've had lots of horrible dissociation in my life. Depersonalization, derealization disorder, where I cannot function if I'm at the worst of it. Truly, like, almost completely out of my mind with pain, racing thoughts, intrusive thoughts, not being able to connect to reality. I went through about where it was 9 months I couldn't drive because I would crash the car, because I couldn't control my responses to the stimuli around me. I could barely communicate with people. I was having intense compulsive movement walking, but that may have been a side effect of medicine they gave me in the mental hospital. I There were days where I was in such excruciating, I couldn't think, I couldn't use like form thoughts, so it was and I'm getting weird sensations now from this thing I did yesterday, but I couldn't form thoughts about movies and my emotions and stuff. It was horrific and excruciating, but it was also kind of not good, but it was like this weird, uncontrollable, hysterical, like, feeling of like, You know, oh, nothing matters. You know, everything's forfeit and lost. So I was talking to a psychiatrist about it. The only good thing about he did for me is using a word to describe this. It was like, well, instead of a euphoria, it sounds like a dysphoria. I'm like, yeah, it's like a very stressful feeling of like almost, I don't know what you describe it, ecstatic bliss or something. And um, anyways, I couldn't function. It was horrible. I couldn't make videos. On my worst days, it was too painful to turn on the computer. And hello from Annandale. Wow. Uh, hey, how's it going in Annandale? I don't even want to know. But anyways, and now I'm having but that was, it's funny, that was all rooted, a lot of it, and the uncontrollable racing thoughts, intrusive, horrible, hallucinatory like thoughts, compulsive, that I was being ripped out of my body, were all related to Christianity. And you know, the Catholic education I got growing up, just a barbarous, horrible, stupid, awful religion. And it's funny because some of what I went through there was like learning their types of meditation, and that really developed something messed up in me that I can only say in the last year has started to dissipate, over 15 years after it. Because even when I would recover from another year-long bout of DPDR, I would still have many, many lingering, like strong triggers and effects, and I was not easy, like I just, things were not good. You know, even when I was it sort of recovered, I had to very strongly try and avoid any triggers, any references to religion. It was awful. Anyways, so I was just, and it's interesting because now this is more, you know, this is not a Christian thing. This comes from, you know, places in the world like India and China where Buddhism and Hinduism developed, and transcendental meditation, that is kind of I mean, a lot, not that supposedly started in the 50s or something by some cult leader. Yeah, David Lynch doesn't say that. Maharishi Yogi, and that's David Lynch's voice. You will feel the sweetest bliss, sweeter than the sweetest donut. I swear, when he says that stuff, he's so full of shit. And I don't mean you won't necessarily feel that. I mean, fuck off trying to tell everybody they will have a great experience with this. And also, why do I want to feel bliss? When I feel stuff like that, I felt it in my depersonalization episode. That was horrific. Yes, I felt that in a kind of way where my life didn't matter, nothing meant, but it was not pleasant at all. It was horrific. And why do I want to be free of stress? I I realized I haven't been myself today, and I didn't even work out as hard as I normally do. And I'm kind of just messed up, but I'm going to try and work out hard tonight because for me, I thrive on stress. I have to push myself to feel pain and self inflict adversity. That means getting up early, working out hard. I don't feel like myself today if I didn't stress my muscles. I'm like, why do I want that? This is triggering more dissociative thoughts in me. Anyways, and not thoughts, just sensations. Um, I started looking around, seeing what are the negative effects of meditation. What can they be? What's going on? And sure enough, I found a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna share some info so people can get something on the other side of this. Whereas people only say the positive the benefits of meditation. Yes, many people do benefit from it, or they say they do. It's not for everybody. Even when I say to exercise, it's good. I say if you can, whatever that may mean for you. Maybe can for you means a mental block. For a lot of people, it can be a physical block. You have a heart condition, you have whatever, there's all kinds of, health problems and ailments that can make exercise not such a good idea, or only certain types of exercise, or injuries, anything. So for him to say everyone can do it, and his ridiculous cadence, I'm sure he's a nice guy, cadence of, who cares? I'm not going to make fun of his, how he speaks, but I'll imitate his voice just to show you. Like he has a video where he says, "This is a donut. It tastes sweet. It has glaze on it. It could have vanilla frosting and Twizzlers. It could have pumpkin frosting. This donut is the sweetest thing you could ever eat. Transcendental meditation is far sweeter than the sweetest donut you will ever have. It's a fuck off. You know, you that stuff can hurt people, and it ended up hurting me. I'm not blaming it. Like, hey, people make their own decisions, but I needed to hear some of the other side. If I saw the words, this could make you depersonalize and dissociate, which is what I've read, I don't know if I would have done this. And yeah, I'll get better. Fortunately, you know, I've gone through depersonalization enough horrific times to know, and truly horrific. I'm not, exaggerating, to know that okay, I know I can recover from this little bout. I'm feeling distress in my head right now from that awful sensation of meditating yesterday, like a pressure on my head and sort of racing thoughts. And it's kind of interesting. Now it's coming from not a Christian source or influence, but more of a, the meditation is based, informed by other meditation that was formed many years ago by, Buddhist and Hindu practices. And one story I read, oh man, this is really messed up. So I'm going to read some of this story. I'm going to be one of those live streamers who reads news stories now. Anyways, but hey, maybe it's good that I at least know about this shit now, so it's not a lingering thought, because I kind of wondered about this over the years. David Lynch keeps talking about it, and he really shouldn't be indiscriminately advocating it for everyone. He should say, see if it's a good idea. I almost slipped into his voice. See if it's a good idea. And again, why do I want to be free of stress? I feel like shit if I'm free of stress. I need stress. I thrive on it, on the adversity. You want to change your brain for the better? Well, here's what works for me. First of all, nothing's going to be better than watching movies and reading and writing screenplays. Nothing. It's just as far as engaging my mind. Yes, there are other things in life, but nothing will be like that. But also for me, what's made a huge difference over the last few years, getting up early. So in other words, not trying to be free of stress, inflicting stress on myself, working out hard, intensely, eating clean, eating well, limiting what I eat, and nothing wrong with how David Lynch necessarily lives, but he obviously it seems like he probably doesn't work out like I do. Probably doesn't get up early like I do. He smokes, I know that. He says meditation made cigarettes even more desirable for him. It's fine, whatever, it's I don't smoke, it's obviously it's not healthy, but what's healthy for people is in their mind, all that crap, and it's just, people can do what they want. I say just know the consequences. Yeah, you can smoke, you can have a good life. Smoke, definitely not for me. But anyways, so I'm going to read some of this article. Oh, I should have linked to it in the description. I will do that later. I should make a note to retitle this video too, before I forget. Jeez, this is going to have a lot of big words, the title. Nah, I don't know. That's not a good title. Okay, so it's an article from Harper's from 2014. It's called Lost in Thought by David Cortava, The Psychological Risks of Meditation. Oh, I can finally have my laptop open now. I got my table and everything. I'm not going to read the whole article. It's a little bit long, but it talks about this girl, Megan, 25. It says cheerful. I'll just read a few excerpts to give the idea. and give my own commentary. Um, on the first day of the retreat, Megan, a cheerful 25-year-old with blue eyes and shoulder-length hair dyed a cardinal red, woke at 4 o'clock in the morning to the chiming bell. For a cumulative 10 hours and 45 minutes, she sat cross-legged on a rug, her spine erect, and tried to focus on her breath. I should say that's not what transcendental meditation is. They say do transcendental meditation for 20 minutes twice a day. And it's definitely not focusing on your breath necessarily, I guess. I guess you can do it, but during breaks, she walked among the beech trees. Oh, they spelled beech wrong. Oh, no, maybe they did. They spelled them right. Beech trees. I thought they meant trees on the beach. But no, they spelled beech, B-E-E-C-H. I guess that's a type of tree. And orange lilies on the center's 13. Oh, okay, I'll skip through the whatever, painting the picture. The first day is, okay, after the 10 hours, 45 minutes, whatever, the first day is over, Gonka said, who was a teacher of this. You have 9 more left to work. To get the best result of your stay here, you have to work very hard. Diligently, ardently, patiently, but persistently, whatever. He spoke of the difficulties the students would encounter in the coming days. The body starts revolting. I don't like it. The mind starts revolting. I don't like it. So you feel very uncomfortable. Everyone will realize how insane one is. That should get you worried already. This technique will help you. You must go to the source of your misery. Jeez, what the fuck is going on outside? At the time, Megan's life was in flux. She had just gone through a breakup, decided to move to Utah, where she planned to work on an organic farm. 10 days of meditation sounded restorative. The first few days, she found them physically challenging, like aching knees, sore lower back, hunger pains. But she'd already been through stuff physically arduous, so she was kind of okay with that. This is where it goes really bad. On the morning of the 7th day, Megan went outside to meditate alone under a tree. She had now by now logged more than 60 hours of meditation. She wasn't sure how long she sat there. Time had slowed down, she later wrote. The ferns and grasses were vibrating. They were made of vibrations, just as she was. Megan felt an exquisite serenity unlike any she had ever known. Tears came to her eyes. I was so happy. I finally knew my place in the world. I was a child of the earth, and I needed to share my joy. I don't even ever want to feel... I've, again, felt crazy shit like that. It didn't feel anywhere as good as it, but like this weird elation that was extremely unpleasant. But hours later, and I thought it was God doing it to me. Where the fuck's my water? But hours later, Megan's bliss dissipated. She became tired, then drained. She went to lie on her bed and could not get the energy. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, just skip words or condense words. She didn't have the energy to get back up. Next meditation session was starting. She felt heavy, responsible for everything wrong in the world. Maybe I'm holy, she thought. Maybe I was put here to heal everyone. She forced herself upright and set her feet down on the floor. I've had scary thoughts kind of like that, too. Actually, not just kind of like that. Almost exactly like that. When I was deep into my first, how long was it? 14, 16-month bout of depersonalization, derealization disorder. I'm not saying that's what she had here. I'm just saying the mind plays tricks on people, and we can recognize patterns in that. She went back into the meditation hall and felt a surge of immense fear course through her body, and she found herself panicking, unable to move. I just zoned out into space, she later wrote. I can't remember where I am. Who am I? What I'm doing here? And then a torrent of dark thoughts came rushing in. Is it the end of the world? Am I dying? Why can't I function or move? I can hear the Buddha now. He is telling me to meditate. I can't. I'm confused. Is this the test? Am I supposed to yell out, I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior? What am I supposed to do? I am so confused. I went through horrific stuff like that, and the crappy thing is, teacher told me, basically it's like meditation, but she told me to pray. And so the more I went into that, the deeper and fucking deeper my DPDR got. It was probably going to be bad anyways. I don't know how I ever would have gotten out of it, but think. She didn't once mention to me, well, she may have mentioned to me mental health, yeah. and maybe a therapist or something. But throughout that whole year, it was when I was a senior in high school, I had no clue about mental health. I didn't know what that meant. The only thing I knew about mental health is when I would see a sitcom where somebody lays on a couch and talks to a psychiatrist about their dreams. That's it. I thought it was for crazy people. I had no idea what it was. Now, how irresponsible is that? Now, here you got people teaching meditation, coming from, Buddhist traditions or maybe Hindu. Even though this particular type of meditation, it may have, it was some guy's creation. They talked about the guy who taught it for a while, I guess. But yeah, she got it from that experience. I got my problem from the Christian influence. Okay, they're going into the background of meditation, Buddhist meditation, and how it's a big business now in America. And Ariana Huffington put out an article saying, I know this list of all the conditions that these practices impact for the better: depression, anxiety, heart disease, memory, aging, creativity, sounds like a label on snake oil from the 19th century, she said, except this is all real and there are no toxic side effects. Well, you're talking to one. Well, I'm not the toxic side effect. You're talking to somebody who experienced it. But the article goes on, unfortunately, Huffington was wrong. Although there is data supporting the positive effects of meditation, the scientific literature is murkier than some champions of the practice would like to believe, and the possibility of negative outcomes cannot be so easily dismissed. As early as 1976, Arnold Lazarus, one of the forefathers of cognitive behavioral therapy, raised concerns about transcendental meditation, the mantra-based practice then in vogue. This is what I tried yesterday. When used indiscriminately, he warned, the procedure can precipitate serious psychiatric problems such as depression, agitation, and even schizophrenic decompensation. I don't even know what that is. I have my laptop. I can look that up. Schizophrenic decompensation. Okay, it's the links are like these big studies and stuff. I don't have time to read all that, but okay. I trust it's bad. Oh, here's a picture. Nope, that doesn't help. If psychotic decompensation occurs, major tranquilizers may be needed. Anyways, okay, I'm not going to find much that I can read in a minute. Lazarus had by then treated a number of, quote, agitated, restive, unquote, patients whose symptoms seemed to worsen after meditating. He came to believe that the practice, while beneficial for many, was likely harmful to some. Man, my mind's intense because I had harm after the first 10 minutes, 8 minutes or so. One case study from 2007 documented a 24-year-old male patient who had slipped into a, quote, a short, lasting, acute psychotic state, unquote, during, quote, an unguided and intense, unquote, or end quote, meditation session. He referred to clinicians following the onset of, quote, an acute sensation of being mentally split, end quote. He saw vivid colors, I saw those, hallucinated, I didn't do that, but, and was overcome with severe anxiety. I had some bad anxiety today and yesterday. The kind of racing, not anxiety worried about something, but just anxiety coming from my body. Like an anxiety attack was going to happen. At the height of the episode, he was tormented by delusional convictions that he had caused the end of the world. I've had stuff feeling like that. Not that feeling, but stuff like, oh, what I do, it's going to, I have to save the whole world. And talked of suicide. The man had experienced one previous hypomanic episode and had a history of untreated depression. The authors posited that meditation can act as a stressor in vulnerable patients. I'll skip forward a little. The article goes on to basically say it's not just vulnerable patients. Like, that may be kind of a cop-out. It actually could cause this in a lot of people. Not necessarily even the majority of people who engage in meditation, but still a lot. And most studies don't monitor for negative reactions, relying instead on participants to report spontaneously. But the research that does exist is not reassuring. More than 50 published studies have documented meditation-induced mental health problems, including mania, dissociation, that's been my big problem, and psychosis. It just goes on and on. Depression, traumatic flashbacks. I was scared of having stuff like what is this intense pain I'm feeling while I was doing it? And meditation could, like, even flashing back to when I had a major depersonalization, derealization relapse in 2012 to 13. Meditation could cause or worsen symptoms in people with certain psychiatric problems, according to the U.S. National Institutes of Health. Jeffrey Lieberman, the former head of the American Psychiatric Association, told me he'd seen this practice in his own practice. Quote, "The clinical phenomenon is real. There's no question about it." End quote. Okay, skip forward just a bunch of, data and stuff like this, but for most people, meditation is, Lieberman said, for most people, meditation is either an innocuous or potentially beneficial activity, but in a small number of individuals, it has the potential for psychological destabilization. Just fucking talk about that, David Lynch. Just mention it. Please, stop saying this bullshit about it. It helps everybody, anybody. It works for everybody. It's horrible. I mean, it's horrible to say that when you may actually have someone like me who listens to you and is harmed by it. Okay, more studies about the problems with meditation that have been, coming out. In 1975, the Journal of Nervous and Mental Disease published the case study of a 38-year-old woman, Mrs. M., who had no history of trauma or psychotic episodes, but had begun to experience altered reality, quote, altered reality testing and behavior. Testing and behavior, like testing reality, I guess. And I've had that with DPDR. Like almost like having to look up at the ceiling to make sure, to remember where I was, because I was almost like hallucinating that I was hundreds of feet in the air. She had this soon after taking up Transcendental meditation. She was meditating for 20 minutes twice a day. The author's psychiatrist at the University of California, Davis, wrote that an altered state of consciousness within days of beginning TM and the occurrence of the waking fantasy shortly thereafter leave little doubt of some causal relationship between the use of TM and the subsequent psychosis-like experience. They concluded, quote, "We would expect the occurrence of powerfully compelling fantasies in some portion of normal individuals utilizing depressive procedures of any form," end quote, including meditation. Now it gets back to Megan, the girl who, the 25-year-old who had that meditation, went to that meditation hall and was meditating for like 10 hours and 45 minutes a day. It says precisely what happened after Megan's unraveling in the meditation hall is unclear. By one account, she went outside and tried to tear down a fence. By another, she broke into uncontrollable laughter. What is certain is, so one of the teachers realized something's wrong. The teacher found a volunteer in the kitchen, Jody Beck, who asked her whether she'd mind attending to Megan. Beck tried having a conversation with Megan, but couldn't follow her train of thought. Something about God, quote, getting back at her, end quote. Oh, man, I felt stuff like that. And for something she'd done. Oh, I felt that a lot. Megan kept asking, quote, "Is Jesus punishing me?" end quote. Beck told me, quote, she didn't understand what was happening to her, end quote. That was what was going on for me even when I was 18, although it wasn't after a meditation thing like this, but it really, really fucked me up for a long time. Messed with triggers and stuff, and then induced like horrible like despair and depression after I had lost my belief and at least on some level became atheist or agnostic, because it was grafted so hard, this brainwashing on me. I always felt like it was like a phantom surrounding me, even though I pretty much was aware that I can't believe this stuff, even though it's embedded in me. Anyways, it meant it's a lot here. I'll try and skip through. As Megan ranted, she mentioned that she had mentioned that she had stopped taking her medication. She had been taking a very low dose of the lowest therapeutic dose of Zoloft for mild anxiety since her early 20s. Yeah, well, okay, a bunch of stuff here. Um, the teacher instructed Beck to administer Megan's pills for the remainder of the treat, but the center did not attempt to contact Megan's doctor, even though the center's administrators required that her doctor complete a form certifying she was in good health, and one of the questions read, "If the patient has difficulty during the course, would you be available to him or her?" And Megan's doctor checked yes, so they didn't check with her doctor. Megan spent, now here's what's really scary. Megan spent the next 3 days in her room trying to concentrate on sensations in her body. Shit, I've been through that a lot. Beck sat by her side. She always had the option to leave, Beck said. She wanted to stay. She doubled down. She was trying so hard. According to that's what I did. But I couldn't leave what I was going through until it just tore through me and whoa, I spit on the screen. And I just had to stop, like not just had to, like I had no choice. It was like it ended in me. It was forced to stop. With, Christianity. She wanted to stay. She doubled down. She was trying so hard. Oh, yeah, I read that. During one meeting, Megan had trouble sitting up, so their teacher, Hin, had her lie down. When Megan clenched her fists, Hin told her to focus on the feeling in her hands. What the fuck? Oh, Yanni, I think Yanni is Hin's first name. Yanni had no sense of this being anything that she couldn't teach her way out of, Beck told me. When Megan got agitated, the instructions was always the same. Close your eyes. Yes, they said the instructions was always the same. Go close your eyes. Go back to meditating. Yanni Hin declined to be interviewed for the story. On the last evening, more than 60 hours. Yeah, you shouldn't torture people with this shit, man. What the fuck? How can you fucking do that? If someone's going through something that unpleasant, let them go. Jeez, you call 911 or something. On the last evening, more than 60 hours after the conspicuous onset of Megan's mental health crisis, Beck managed to get in touch with Megan's family. Her problems are getting worse and worse, Beck told me. She looked like a ghost of herself. She hadn't slept in days. She stopped showering. She was not equipped to leave without help. Like they didn't trust her to drive away. When Megan's parents and her younger sister, Jordan, arrived the next day, Beck asked for them to visit Megan one at a time so as not to overwhelm her. Her mother, Chris, went in first. Quote, "That's not confused, that's psychotic," her mother, Chris, said. "That's not my daughter." Jordan, Megan's sister, went next. Megan was hunched over at the foot of the bed, staring at the ground. She looked pale. Jordan sat down on the opposite end. "Hey, Meg." A moment passed in silence. "You're not really here," Megan said finally. "It's me. You can touch me. I'm here," Jordan said. "I'm creating you. You're just a projection." Oh, man, that shit's scary. Hey, Lord Heinz. Megan recoiled from her family, and she was completely psychotic, like broken from reality. Megan recoiled from her family and resisted getting into the car. She said, "I have to die here." Oh, that's scary. I felt stuff like that too when I was in bad dissociation. And Christianity and Christians, their only answer to that is, "Oh, well, you're going to go to hell if you break away from Christianity." So more Christianity for you if you're going through hell with our, just stupid, cruel religion. Just idiotic, backwards system. Lord Heinz, I'm reading an article about somebody who went through a horrific psychotic break with meditation because I had a bad experience with transcendental meditation or TM yesterday, and I'm still dissociating from it, dissociating because of it. It's kind of messed up. Megan. Eventually, Hin, the teacher, persuaded Megan to leave with her mother and sister. Her father, Steve, followed in Megan's truck. As they drove off, Megan's wish to die took on a violent urgency. She clutched at... Okay, so content warning. This is getting into, acting out, suicidal thoughts. So it is disturbing. She clutched at her neck. She stuffed her mouth with a blanket. She attempted to climb into the front seat and get at the glove box where she knew her mother kept a switchblade. On the interstate, she tried to jump out of the car, but her sister held on to her and pulled the door shut. They brought her to the hospital, and Megan screamed at her mother, "Stop talking to the devil." Her sister Jordan took off a necklace that Megan had made for her out of redwood bark and pine nut shells. She put the necklace in Megan's hand, just trying to get her to feel that there was a physical reality. In the emergency room, Megan repeated over and over, "I did something terrible. I did something terrible." And her mom said, "Baby, what did you do? We can work through this." Megan said, "I killed the universe." Oh man, that's a horrible place to be in that kind of mental state. Um, Lord Heinz, my experience was, I went over it at the beginning of the video, but it was very painful. It was like I'm not a burning sensation, but like an emotionally, like searing sensation. I felt this horrible pressure on the back of my head that felt like my head was trying to like crush in and cave in on itself, like my teeth were trying to jut back into my gums and in the roof of my mouth. I was feeling very nauseous, and afterwards, I've just had symptoms of my dissociative disorder and anxiety. Oh, today I started having near anxiety attacks. Literally, like not anxiety from being worried about something, like whatever. Oh, is somebody going to hit me? And I'm parked in my car on the side of a busy road. Is someone going to hit me, or whatever? Or someone's mad at me? No, this was just like my body was getting anxiety today, and I have not had that in years. Yeah, it was bad for me, and I wish these bullshitters like David Lynch. And I got to call him out because I don't hate the guy or anything. I think he's interesting to listen to, and a lot of people like his movies, and he makes cool stuff. But he says it indiscriminately always helps people. It's great. Bullshit. It does not. You shouldn't say that because I listened to him and it hurt me. And I trust I'll recover. It's not the worst bout of depersonalization I've been through and derealization, but um, he shouldn't be saying stuff that could hurt people. He should be qualifying it with, you know, maybe if you're not sure, take it really little bits, take it slow. It can, just put disclaimers. That's all. You got to do that for medicine. Your doctor has to tell you side effects. Like, hey, if this, messes with you, you got to stop. A lot of doctors aren't good doctors, but that's different. Um, So, according to the hospital records, this is a story of a girl who had a horrible psychotic break while on a meditation trip for like 10 days, where she was meditating 10 hours and 45 minutes a day. According to hospital records, Megan appeared disheveled and unkempt and seemed to be responding to internal stimuli. Her initial physical exam was limited as the patient is very disorganized and afraid, doesn't want anyone to touch her. As medical staff were taking her vitals, Megan pulled out her IV and shoved the attending physician. Doctors then forcibly administered an intramuscular injection of geodone, or maybe geodone, a powerful antipsychotic. Beyond her psychological distress, whatever was ailing her was also causing a physical reaction. Her stomach churned. She was both cold and perspiring. She was tested for drugs and infections that could induce psychosis. Everything came back negative. I could go on, but it's really bad what happened in the hospital. Anyways, she was given an antipsychotic along with Ativan, a benzodiazepine used to treat anxiety. I've had Ativan before. When I got out of the mental hospital, I was there like 5 days. I was in such bad shape. My heart started racing when I got out. And it kept racing constantly for 24 hours. I was so dead tired. I wanted to fall asleep, but every time I was about to fall asleep, I would wake up because my heart was racing. It was horrific, and I literally, by about 24 hours, I thought, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die of this. Like my heart's gonna like just give out." It's. I went to the emergency room. I was terrified of even going. I told them, "Look, I don't need to go to the mental hospital again." They checked my heart. It was beating 120 beats per minute. They gave me an injection of Ativan. I swear, the instant that Ativan hit my arm, my heart slowed down, and I forget if I fell asleep in the emergency room or not. I may have, but I slept about 45 minutes or less a night for the next month. It was truly horrific. Um, Megan, after 2 days, Megan was recovering. She's like, "Oh, I don't remember how I got here," but she was otherwise lucid and in a bright mood. She said, "I can't believe I'm in a nut house." She was laughing. "People are going to think I'm crazy." A doctor wrote in Megan's chart that she feels much better after seeing her family. but also that she could hear music playing. I guess it means in her head. They don't specify. After a week, Megan's psychosis leveled off. She was sleeping better and eating regularly. She could think more clearly and told her doctors she was sorry for everything. Um, okay, going on. More details. More details. Yeah, she was given a prescription for no, she was stopped at Zoloft and given a supply of Cybrexa and Ativan, and told to come back if she experienced more symptoms like racing thoughts, increased rate of speech, mood lability. I've never seen that word, or decreased need for sleep. Anyway, she left with a medically stable condition without any safety concerns. Um, and a lot of stuff. Her sister was looking for help online. She found a group online that she says saved her life, um, and said how her sister. She posted on the Facebook group. It's a Facebook group for people experiencing mental health problems precipitated by meditation. And she wrote how her sister tried to. Completely disoriented and wanted to kill herself. She said she needs to kill herself, and she asked for the message to be relayed to the group's facilitator, a clinical psychologist and neuroscientist at Brown named Willoughby Britton, who has become one of the foremost advocates of the view that meditation can be harmful even for people without underlying psychiatric disorders. I don't even know if I have a psychiatric. Whoa, what the hell? Happy Life. What the fuck, man? Why'd you delete all Lord Hines' comments? Lord Hines, stick around. I'm sorry. Come on, Happy Life. What are you doing? Lord Hines was being cool. Accident. God damn it, Happy Life. That's the second or third time that's happened. Okay, I'm removing you as a mod. Okay, you can come, you can watch, but I don't get how that's even an accident. Um, Britton had started out as an avid meditator, but as graduate student in mid-aughts, she made an unexpected discovery. Okay, whatever. This is a lot of stuff about the Willoughby Britton, who is the what the fuck? Well, I don't know if Willoughby is a man or a woman, um, or non-binary. But Willoughby Britton is a neuroscientist, and what the hell else? Yeah, neuroscientist and clinical psychologist. Oh, she. Willoughby is a she. Basically, Willoughby had started as an avid meditator, but then started, researching how meditation affected sleep quality and other problems, and she was discovering evidence that it was bad for people. It wasn't helping them, particularly if they do it over like 45 minutes a day or something. But she buried the research. She kept her findings secret because she felt bad that it didn't support her belief that meditation is always good. And she went through more of that and more. She sat on the data. I really didn't want to see it because it was sort of the wrong answer. She filed away the results and delayed publishing them. And on a Visapana meditation retreat in 2006, she told one of her instructors about her research. And she said, the teacher kind of chastised me. Like, why are you therapists always trying to make meditation a relaxation technique? That's not what it's here for. Everyone knows that if you go and meditate enough, you stop sleeping. Now, and the article goes on and says how meditation really, it started as a way of hating your life, of trying to annihilate your life by Buddhists who wanted to be free of all desires, all worldly longings, like free of their bodies, which they considered disgusting, free of everything material, and escape the death and rebirth and hell, you know, being reborn in hell as a goat or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Cycles of life, and it even says how people back then had well, we can't diagnose them now, but apparently describing, serious mood problems and personality problems coming from meditation and possibly psychosis. Only they called them, different things back then. They didn't know, what these things really were. But anyways, meditators also were in Willoughby's studies, or people who talked to her. I had two young meditators also reported diminished emotions, both negative and positive. Quote, I had two young children. I couldn't feel anything about them. I went through all the routines, the bedtime routine, getting them early, ready and kissing them and all that stuff, but there was no emotional connection. It was like I was dead. That's a lot of what I've gone through. Depersonalization, only it's accompanied by other horrible sensations. If it was just being numb, that would be scary and bad enough. And I did go a little numb today, and it sucks. It's scary because I've been. Um, Josephine, yeah, good stream, Angela. The dangers of, yeah, spirituality. I don't believe in spirituality. What is that? It's a bullshit word for, by people who peddle woo. But it's really, the word comes from people thought it was the wind. And when you die, the breath goes out of you. They thought that's your soul leaving you. Nobody can define what that word is. Anyways, it's so self-aggrandizing when people say, oh, I'm spiritual or whatever. Shit, you're probably a narcissist. Um, Britton realized that she had experienced some of the symptoms that her interview subjects were describing. Anyways, I've been kind of numb today too. It's scary. I don't feel my drives and desires. They're kind of stunted because of this fucking experience yesterday. And I've been stressed and sleep deprived and all this shit too. But meditation was not the right choice for me. That's why I'm saying David Lynch is full of shit. He shouldn't say, like, without qualification, transcendental meditation helps everyone, it works in everyone. Bull fucking shit. Just don't say that. Qualify. If it helps a lot of people, say it helps a lot of them. But you should be clinical about it and say where it doesn't work. And also the whole idea of paying a teacher to teach you this shit and that you can't tell anyone the secrets, you can't tell anyone your mantra. Hey, if it helps everybody, fucking help everyone. Just give out the info. And you can still charge to coach them and guide them and stuff. But that's, it's like if you want to be healthy, well, health is, relative and all that, because think about it, you could be missing is health having all your limbs, but you could be missing a leg, or you could be relatively healthy and have a major disease, and you can be pretty unhealthy and not have a disease. So it's all kind of, should a healthy person be able to run a 5-minute mile? Not necessarily. So it's all relative, but we can all look up all the information we want about our health, our bodies, our chemistry, body chemistry and stuff, and learn about ourselves and how to help ourselves. And yet, we can doctors still have jobs. You can still go to them. Now, grant, yeah, it's a little, you got to go to get certain medicine, treatment stuff, but you can go to doctors for advice and stuff, or nutritionists, even though you can learn everything you need to know about nutrition just from what's out there. You don't, there's no, they don't sign you to secrecy. If anyone does, it's a jerk off move, but you don't need to sign to secrecy. They'll just coach you. That's all it is. Coach, I got to take a leak. Yeah, want to pray, just pick your teeth. That's right. It was, I got to go to the bathroom so bad. All right. Yeah, don't tell people this load of shit, and you gotta pay the Maharishi whatever teachers to give you instruction, and then they tell you don't tell anyone your mantra, or it loses its power. That's bull fucking shit. I gave away my mantra on video. Posted it on Facebook or something. I used the word kirim. It's like an old Sanskrit word, I guess. I just wanted to try it. Use a mantra, a word that's like made up, or I guess in this case, like an old language that you don't know the meaning to, because you don't want to give a word that you focus on the definition of. And anyways, even talking about it now, it's fucking scary because I did this and it was a really bad experience. It was scary. It was painful, and I'm getting over it already. I can sort of tell, but what the hell are you doing? Happy life, Trump? What are you talking about Trump for? I thought you were cool on this channel. Can you be cool? Because why are you interjecting this stuff about Trump now after you just deleted Lord Heinz's comments? I get you apologize, so you know we can move on. But oh, Josephine, you said this is so weird. My cousin tried to get me to do TM the other day. He's 50 pounds overweight and Workaholics Anon. What the hell is Workaholics Anonymous? There's such a thing as Workaholics Anonymous? But has no problem telling me what to do. Thanks, Angelo. Nice walk, by the way. What do you mean nice? When did I walk nice? When I just got up? What was the nice walk? Oh, nice talk, I think you meant to say. Is that what you meant to say? I don't know. Yeah, this is already kind of triggering of stuff I felt, but the idea that, oh, if you give away your mantra, you tell your mantra to people, it'll remove all its power. I told people it still has too much of a grip over me. I tried, by the way, I tried meditating again, standing up and walking for like 10 seconds today. It was still powerful. And I thought maybe I just need to do this to get it out of me. It was still powerful. And I'm even now, it's like my mind is being sucked into it, even though I don't want to. And yeah, it doesn't lose its power. Go fuck yourself. You're gonna tell these lies. I can't. I don't like telling people off on stuff like, you know, wholesale like this. But when you're lying to people, when you're feeding them a load of shit, and you're not telling them the potential downsides of what you're saying, like, you know, if someone wants to work with me or work on a movie or something, I have to disclose to them, just personally, on a personal level, I feel like I have to tell them, look, here's what the work's going to be like. You know, you're going to be working hard, working closely with a lot of people. You got to be ready for certain things. It's going to be tiring. You have to tell them that. You can't just be like, oh, no, no, no. It works for everybody. It's perfect with this David Lynch's dopey fucking analogy about this is sweeter than the sweetest donut. Why do I even want bliss? I don't like that. I feel shitty today not going straight to what stresses me. Working out. I worked out, but not that hard. Getting up early and actually feeling like, you know, knowing that I'm dissatisfied with where I am, but I always want, I enjoy the, you know, adversity of working hard for what I want every day. Just ridiculous. Personally hate donuts. I don't eat donuts either. Love cookies though. He would have sold me cookies. I started making oatmeal cookies this last week. They're pretty good. Oh, I still gotta edit that video and put it up. I filmed myself making them with no added sugar. So basically, just quick oatmeal. Mash up a banana in a bowl. Add a bunch of quick oatmeal. And that's all you need, and you can microwave it, and that's it. It takes like 3 minutes. But I also add in peanut butter, or I put cashew butter. I was gonna say craisins, but yeah, dried cranberries or craisins, and cinnamon. And I just, you know, throughout the day I pace myself and eat those at work because it's less, it's relatively healthy, and it's oatmeal's really good for you, and it's less sugar than those shitty oatmeal cookies in stores. And we have oatmeal cookies at my job, but it's just disgusting amounts of sugar. So, and it's also cheap to make. Um, yeah, it can be a good dessert too, and that's the thing, it's relatively healthy. And I'll just have small ones like every 2 to 3 hours or so. Anyway, so back to this article. This neuroscientist, psychologist who was a big meditator but did studies and started getting data on negative effects of meditation on people, and she didn't like it. She buried it, but she had to admit it. Britain, her name is Willoughby Britton, realized that she had experienced some of the symptoms that her interview subjects were describing. Quote, "It took me 3 years of trauma training to realize, oh, that's dissociation." Whoa, man, I've been through that. And I hadn't realized it because if you can sit for long periods of time and not feel any pain and not have any thoughts, most meditation teachers are going to say that you're doing great. She said, but this was different. I felt like I was living in a parallel dimension. Oh, I felt that tenfold many times from the rest of the world, not connected at all. Yep, that's dissociation and possibly depersonalization. She recalled one experience she'd had while still in graduate school. Quote, "I was meditating outside and I felt something shift. I was having a really hard time and then everything just clicked." End quote. "Suddenly everything seemed fine." Quote, "Now I know that's a red flag. When someone goes from having intense negative emotions to instantly feeling fine as if someone just flipped a switch." End quote. I actually realized I had that in high school a few days before I had my first well, it was the only major panic attack I've had. It was horrific. It changed the trajectory of my life. And I felt like I was being ripped out of my body by God. And I've had anxiety attacks since then, but never a panic attack like that. That was terrible. I thought I was going to throw up when I had it. So it goes on. Britain published a journal talking about meditation related difficulties, including panic, anxiety, traumatic flashbacks, visual and auditory hallucinations, loss of conceptual meaning structures, non referential fear, affective flattening, involuntary movements, and distressing changes in feelings of self. Okay, it goes on. Okay, but, anyways. Back to the story about Megan, who had that bad experience meditating for 10 hours a day. Um, Very sad. It talks about some history of meditation and Buddhist ascetics who took up meditation in the 5th century BC did not view it as a form of stress relief. These contemplative practices were invented for monastics who had renounced possessions, social positions, wealth, family, comfort, and work, writes David McMahon, a professor of religious studies at Franklin and Marshall College. See, Buddhism seems so appealing, and then you see it's also got a load of shit too in it. And I already get that just from my experience yesterday, where this is not fun, this is not cool, it's horrific. Uh, Monks and nuns sought to transcend the world and its cycles of rebirth and awaken in nirvana, an unfathomable state of equanimity beyond space and time. See, why would I even want that? I started feeling like such a thing when I was still, going through the motions of Christianity, and in my dissociative episode, I thought to be trapped, wrenched out of your body, thrown into this other dimension with God would be the most loneliest, painful thing possible. And this idea of a reward of heaven is absolute torture, and I would never want it. And that's why I was scared of dying. It wasn't because of hell. I didn't necessarily care about that. Even though I was kind of scared of that too, but I had no real concept of it because I never thought it would happen. I was going there. Anyways, really horrible. Um, these beliefs, these fucking backwards beliefs. Um, in the Pali Sutta, the earliest Buddhist text, whatever. It's basically Buddhism. Was about trying to get yourself to exit the world rather than try and live a happier, more fulfilling life within it. Yeah, that's religion for you. That's a lot of religion. Most religions probably. Um, yeah, it's pretty much religion. That's a pretty good. Actually, that's a pretty good definition of religion because a lot of religion's hard to define. Like what exactly is, what exactly isn't. Is just a tight knit social club or religion when it becomes based on certain hierarchies and rituals and stuff. There you go. Something aimed at exiting the world rather than a means to a happier, more fulfilling life within it. That's actually a pretty good definition of religion. incisive. Nobody cares. That's all I can say. Nobody cares. This is not the place to go preaching. Aspiring Buddhas were asked to contemplate the body from head to toe, inside and out, McMahon writes, not for relaxation or even less for body acceptance, but to bring to full realization its utter repulsiveness, the body's utter repulsiveness, coursing as it is with blood, phlegm, and pus. Yeah, that's what I was feeling, with the depersonalization I was experiencing, with a strong Christian influence in it. It was horrible. That everything was wrong. I shouldn't be living. I should be with God, and everything is, you know, everything else is just, dirty and not dirt, just dirty. It's like, I'm supposed to be wrenched out of this world, and yet I'm stuck in my body. Reports of disturbing experiences during meditation appear in a number of early Buddhist writings. Um, Quote, corruptions of insight that, from the vantage of modern clinical psychology, resemble psychosomatic ailments, including manic bliss states, gastrointestinal issues, and visual hallucinations. Monks in the Zen tradition may encounter, quote, diabolical phenomena, end quote, which are characterized by involuntary movements and frightening mental imagery. Chinese and Japanese Zen masters, even now as I read this, it's kind of terrifying me, the feeling of dissociation, of being pulled out of my body for some stupid, wicked, awful religious compulsion. Um, and now I'm just feeling it about Buddhism as opposed to, when I was younger, it was Christianity. Um, Chinese and Japanese Zen masters, because I hate the idea of people who just, reject the world is terrible, you fucking lunatic fanatic. Chinese and Japanese Zen masters are said to succumb to a, quote, meditation sickness, end quote, in which the afflicted become disoriented and have trouble regulating their body temperatures and energy levels. Buddhist monastics in Tibet may develop, quote, wind illness, end quote, the symptoms of which include confusion and agitation. According to a 12th century Buddhist medical treatise, the disorder is caused by, quote, the three poisons of attachment, hatred, and closed mindedness. Yeah, right, whatever. By the way, wind illness, that's something I get a lot if I don't chew my food properly and drink enough water. Um, yeah, you want to clear the room when I get wind illness. Okay, so anyways, it goes on. Problems with, meditation. Back at home, okay, back to the girl Megan. She continued to meditate, often for hours at a stretch, oscillating between lethargy and panic. Chris, her mother, took medical leave to attend to her daughter full time. She contacted a number of psychiatrists. She drove Megan to schedule appointments, but Megan wouldn't get out of the car, and she kept a total of 4 appointments in 2 months. Every morning, Chris checked to make sure Megan had taken her Zyprexa. She said the pills weren't doing anything, they just made her sleepy. The prescription eventually ran out, and Megan refused to see a doctor to refill it. Megan had always kept a tiny journal. I don't get people who keep journals. I'm too fucking tired to keep a journal. But now her writing became compulsive. She scribbled her most personal thoughts on whatever happened to be around. Chris and Jordan would find Megan's notes on receipts, bank statements, and other random scraps of paper throughout the house. And they said things like, quote, the world will go on without you. It's been around for 6 billion years. Stop being so selfish. I'm afraid my energy is going to hurt everyone else. I can't stay inside of the lines. I can't stay inside of the lines. On the morning of June 6, 2017, Megan told her parents she was going for a walk in the park. Her eyes were bloodshot and she looked as though she hadn't slept. She had spent the previous night in a treehouse that Steve had built for the girls when they were little. Before falling asleep, Steve made sure his guns were accounted for and locked up. That morning, as soon as Megan drove away, he got a bad feeling. We got to go looking for her, Steve told Chris. They drove to the park, but Megan's truck wasn't there. They decided Steve would wait for Megan at home while Chris continued to search on her own. After dropping Steve off at the house, Chris drove north along a bridge, came into view standing 120 feet above the rocky banks of the Susquehanna. Chris saw a scrum, You ever seen that word? A scrum of police cars with their lights flashing and Megan's truck just parked just ahead. I just knew, she said. In her truck, Megan had left a note for her family. I couldn't keep running from what was supposed to have happened. If you get a chance to die, take it. That's really sad and really scary because I had thoughts like, I'm not supposed to live. I just escaped, this fate that I was supposed to have where I'm just being torn out of my body and destroyed by God and, a slave to God. That is really sad. This girl went through. So unfortunately, she died by this. She died due to this. You could say she succumbed to, suicide or however you want to term it, because you never know totally what's in someone's head, but it seems like she went psychotic as a result of this, and it's really horrible. Um, Even the Dalai Lama, that shithead. I know he's probably done some good things, but it's funny. In a 2012 conference on mindfulness at the Mayo Clinic, Willoughby Britton presented her early findings on the potential adverse effects of meditation to the Dalai Lama. The science of meditation is pretty much exclusively focused on positive effects of meditation, but if we want to understand the entire trajectory of the contemplative path and everything it entails, we need to understand its negative effects. That's what Willoughby said. In recording of the proceedings, Dalai Lama can be seen nodding gravely, smiling genially, and on several occasions interjecting to crack a joke. I was mixing up my Spanish pronunciation with my English there with genially, because in Spanish the word like genial is genial, although genial means genius, but it's like similar letters, same letter. Anyways, at one point the Dalai Lama said, "These people, I think they just hear things and then develop some sort of excitement." He said that the meditators needed to read more books, analyze what they read, develop firm convictions, and only then try to meditate. If they followed this course, he didn't think they were in danger. So yeah, this bullshitter who says, I don't give a fuck that you think you are, or you're the whatever leader, I was going to say you put your pants on like everybody else, but I don't, does he wear pants? I'm not trying to crack a joke about, I just, like, if he wears that, the robe, I don't know. But uh, anyways, you get the idea. Yeah, you put your pants on like everyone else. You shit like everybody else. Don't act like, oh, you're above all this stuff. The Dalai Lama cheerfully concluded that, quote, these negative sides are on their own mistake. The positive things, that's the real truth, end quote. He encouraged Britain to do more research. So this bullshitter, the Dalai Lama, said, if science ever teaches anything contrary to Buddhism, I will believe science. And by the way, I'm not saying that means you should believe 100% what Britain says, because science is not always conclusive. There's more research to do, yes. But to dismiss it the way he did, like, oh, really, there's more information. We don't have the info, but there's more information that proves you wrong. We don't. Well, that's not how information works. You have the info, and you use that, to kind of correlate. Like, okay, how does this match up to, our opinions, or how do our opinions correspond to this? Oh, it looks like our opinions aren't right. They're out of whack. You jump into your pants with both legs. That's cool. So you just like have your pants held up by like salad tongs or something, and you just dive right into them and jump right onto the ground and you break your ankles. Or maybe you do it on a trampoline or something. Britain's, anyways. What a bullshitter, to not accept data. That's all. I'm not saying it has to change everything about what the Dalai Lama thinks, but why not just accept this and say, okay, this is true? And it's not even accepting what Britain says 100%, because it always could use more corroboration and studies, but just say, oh, okay, there's some data showing that this is bad. Just accept what she said, not even accepting it, hard and fast all the way. But why not? You could, because it undermines your religion. Fucking religion, what it does to people. So, anyways, it goes on, and more studies that found bad side effects, including anxiety, depression, and cognitive impairment. Man, the mind is a powerful thing. That's all I can say. And they're saying, Megan probably wouldn't have killed herself if she'd be alive. I don't like to say she killed herself. It's more like she died by an affliction. She died by a disease or whatever you call it. But they say her family said Megan was a happy, resilient person until the retreat. I don't believe you have to have an issue to have occur what happened to Megan. And even when she was sick, there were moments where it felt like we were sharing in the healing, not just taking care of her. On the last night of Megan's life, Jordan had climbed up the creaky. Jordan is Megan's sister. Climbed up the creaky wooden ladder to their treehouse, their childhood treehouse, and joined her sister. She brought her some herbal tea. Megan told Jordan about a memory from the retreat that had returned to her. There's my wind illness. Um, On the final day, Megan said she found herself in the presence of a bright white light which she knew to be God, but she became scared and turned away. She said that in that moment she had to choose between heaven and hell, and that she had made a mistake, and now she was trapped in hell and needed to die to escape. Jordan tried to find the words that could penetrate the fog of delirium that enveloped her sister. Jordan said, "Heaven and hell are not permanent ideas. You can choose this very moment that you're not trapped in there." And anyways, that's about the end of the article. She says it's possible that this wouldn't have happened if she hadn't gone on the retreat. But Jordan's irresolution, her indecisiveness on that, stemmed in part from her wish to honor Megan's own understanding of what she went through. Megan never blamed the meditation, and she never saw it as a medical problem. Jordan said for her it was a spiritual crisis. Well, yeah, that's pretty out there, but Jordan said, I don't think it's out of the question that she may have had a disorder. Obviously, you got to say other people went through that same meditation retreat and presumably didn't go through this. But still, it's enough to give serious concerns and just tell them, just like you do for medicine or for even exercise. You got to tell people if the exercise hurts, stop. If it hurts in a bad way, like yeah, if it actually feels like you should stop. Me, it hurts, like, in a way, but I don't even like to say it hurts. I feel when it's stressing my muscles, and that's when I want to push out those last 5 reps or whatever. So that's not so much hurt, it's just I'm stressing the muscles. I enjoy working through that stress. Yeah, Taco Bell gives you wind illness, that's right. OK says, I decided at a young age that I'd subscribe to any religion or higher power that made its presence known to me. Either I'm dead or blind because it hasn't happened yet. Hey, fuck yeah, man. Screw that shit. Fuck that noise. Seriously, all religion's bullshit. I used to always have in the back of my mind, oh, there's some allure about Buddhism. I swear, seeing this, yes, I know, transcendental meditation is not specifically a Buddhist practice, or not even in part a Buddhist practice. It's just that meditation in general comes from these, areas where Buddhism came from, and I'm sure a lot of it got mixed into what eventually would become transcendental meditation. But even so, It seems like even other meditation not good for me. For me, good meditation is just reflecting and putting myself through stress and feeling the space between me and that stress and what I'm doing. To me, the best thing that's happened that I could do is going homeless, working out hard, exercising early, cutting what I eat, and then being engaged in movies. This is the best stuff. I can't imagine this bullshit about meditation. And my point is with this, yeah, a lot of people say it helps them. Give voice to the people who it doesn't help. Almost all this stuff about meditation says how great it is, how it helps you. It is not for everybody. That's all. Just say that. Say what the side effects are. That's why I say David Lynch is full of shit when he says, and it's not hating him. I don't. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He seems like a nice person. Um, but the idea that he says this is going to give you bliss, it helps everybody. Bullshit. It does not. I am here telling you, and fortunately, I have a track record on YouTube. I say it like it's a business or something. I just mean I put up a lot of videos where you can be certain I'm not an actor. I'm not some guy peddling anything. I don't care. I do not want to join a group. I don't care if anybody. I don't want you to join groups. I don't want you to do anything. Just everybody stay where you are. But you know I'm not an actor. I'm not peddling anything. I'm not selling anything. I don't give a shit either way. I tried this because I thought it'd be cool and because David Lynch kept saying it's amazing, and it turns out it's really fucking stressful and awful in some ways. For me, I should not be doing it. It's conclusive for me today. I will not do this. I do not. My mind is not rigged for this. It reminds me of the horrible sensations I've had with depersonalization, derealization disorder over the last, whatever, 16, 17, 18 years now. Something like that. How long have I? Yeah, 18 years now. I've had many, several long bouts of it. Many days spent with it. Many months, several years. And it is truly horrific, and I don't know how I ever recovered from some of those bouts. I really don't. I really don't understand it. If I had to go through it again, it oh man, it was horrific. It's particularly the second bout I had where I was just totally numb, and it was very, very painful. I could not enjoy movies. I could not enjoy humor from when I was like 22 to 23, a year. It was a good solid year from May to May. And I only got out of it because I got involved in this abusive situation with this woman who, she was so cruel to me. It kind of like stirred up my, like, made me feel something in a way. And, you know, even though I was really messed up by it, but I was able to sort of recover, but it was still very rough, and I relapsed again. And I, you know, that relapse was exquisitely painful. Yep, it's a placebo. And also, yeah, people say, "Oh, you know, you know, accepted God and Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and I was cured of my alcoholism and stuff." Wait a minute. So God apparently controls everything, put the alcoholism in you. It was no challenge to ever take it away at any time, and yet so what was the dilemma in taking it away, and how does that show what is supernatural about that? So you stop being an alcoholic, or you're in recovery. It's called, like, you know, being long-term recovering or sober. What is supernatural about that? So you start, are you like, it's not breaking the laws of the universe. And by the way, a better test of whether your religion's true or your belief is true, not whether you'll follow it because it makes your life better, whether you'll follow, if you're in a religious, you know, persuasion. But a good test is whether you'll do it even if it makes your life horrible because you believe in it that bad. And that's one of the supposed virtues of what you believe, is that you will believe it no matter how bad things get, because it is a better consolation to you and more important than anything in this earthly life. It's not the same for an atheist or a humanist or a filmmaker or whatever, because we can say, yeah, certain things do make your life better. Go to them, do them. You know, if you can, if it helps you. I'm not going to say unconditionally, like, oh yeah, it's important every day to exercise hard no matter what, even if, you know, you're sleeping 2 hours a night, and, you know, you're, I don't know, you're having some other horrible ailment. Yeah, yeah, just keep exercising hard no matter what. No, if it's horrible for you, you shouldn't do it, or you should really reconsider it. All right, Josephine, thank you. Wow, Josephine, you said, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree. This stream came at the right time for me. People need to talk about this topic more than ever. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Reality of tomorrow with all its sensations. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to work out even tonight before I go to sleep, and then tomorrow. Today's like the first day in weeks I haven't worked out really hard. Part of it was just I was feeling like shit. I was dead tired. I felt nauseated as shit from that um, transcendental meditation thing yesterday. I was stressed because a coworker was treating me shittily. And anyways, I'm feeling like better overall now. But I got today being the first day I didn't work out for like 45 minutes in the morning. I feel shitty, even though I did get a decent workout in, like a modest workout in. I still feel shitty, like that I didn't get a good hard one in. And well, that sounds dirty, but uh, that's better for me. So just fucking say it. Like, I can't say it. Why do I have to be the voice of reason that says this stuff? Like, other people could be doing this too. And so I don't trust people who are too into meditation or anything. Hey, and it's cool. Some people I like are into it and whatever, you know. But just Say what it is. Give qualified advice, and it needs. I don't need to be the person who gives the counterpoint to, like, oh no, it helps a lot of people, because those people's voices fucking dominate when you look up anything about meditation. Your mind is a powerful thing. It can be a very scary thing. There's no reason you shouldn't proceed with caution, and you shouldn't listen to people who just say it's all great, it helps everybody no matter what. Oh, and you got to pay a practitioner to teach it to you. Fuck off, you goddamn pricks. Oh, thank you. Okay, you were watching, and it looks like I'm doing better mentally and physically. I am. Thank you. I really am. I've lost a bunch of weight. Still losing weight, and eating well and exercising hard, saving money, and I'm just like eliminating all these variables that just spun me out of control in my life and made me feel terrible. And transcendental meditation, now even those words trigger me the way Christian terms did and still can kind of do so. But transcendental meditation definitely does fucking nothing for me in the way that exercise, eating well, working out, and then just movies. And because I love movies, I love, watching them, reading scripts, writing scripts, and putting together movies just in my head. And I've shot plenty of stuff. Well, mostly these types of videos, but I've shot short films and worked on movie sets and all, and thinking how I'm going to direct my own movies. That stuff's way better for me than this bullshit. And just fucking say so. That's all I'm saying. Is just fucking tell people. God damn it. Why do I have to be the sensible fucking voice? Like, I'm just some guy in just doing my thing in life. And, going from place to place and whatever. Look at my videos. I just film funny videos for the most part, or lately not as much funny as just talking about my life. Why do I have to be the one that figures this out and tells people? David Lynch is really irresponsible telling people. I don't mind saying this. I don't like talking down about people, but when you say stuff like this that you claim is so great that in fact can hurt people, you shouldn't be doing that. That is totally unacceptable. Why do that? And why give people this fantasy that can help them if it can really hurt them? Even if it's only, say, 3%, 5% of people. And it could very well be more than that. One study I was just reading from the article said 65% of people had negative consequences from meditation. Just fucking say it. Doesn't mean, by the way, they all had it just as bad as each other. Some it could have just been temporary or whatever. But don't do that. That's wrong. That's fucked up, and he deserves to be called out on it for doing something that's going to hurt people, for a grandiose idea that, like this can do no wrong. He literally thinks that. He is literally that fucking like solipsistic or whatever you want to call it. That this just does no wrong. It can't. It helps everybody. Just talk for real about it. God. Anyways, what else is there to talk about? I'm sick of this shit. I'm beyond just the meditation and transcendental meditation not being good for everybody, and also just for me just being shitty. Like it just evokes the worst things I don't like about, even though it's not strictly a religious practice, it evokes the worst feelings for me about religion. The idea of purity, of annihilating your life and going to a better life for something. Those nonsense fantasies that as an adult, like it's more, it makes me more angry at the lie of it than, or what am I trying to say? Yeah, more angry than the idea that just it's wrong and that people believe that you're trying to impress this on people and tell them, and lie. And yes, even though you may not think you're lying if you say something you can't know to be true, but you assert it to be true. If you're saying, yes, this definitely helps everyone, you can't know that if there's information out there saying otherwise. Lying mofos who profit from ignorance is annoying as fuck. Yeah, that's true. And that's why I don't mind calling him out. even though I really don't like doing that for anybody, because I don't like even putting myself in that position. Because to me, normally when I criticize people, it like just makes it about me. So that's why I don't like doing it, because I don't want to in, interject myself even into these scenarios where I'm criticizing stuff that I don't even like to think about it. It's too unpleasant. But for this, when it's something that is not only affecting me, but it's not because it's affecting me, it's because I know what effect this can have on people, because I went through it bad enough with people, lying to me about Christianity. And it's not even that they lied to me, it's that bothers me. It's the fact that it's such a horrible thing to tell someone, and so foolish to believe it so firmly. These Christian ideas, Christian myths, and I see it now with transcendental meditation too. Yes, even though it's not strictly religious, it's still got religious, bearings and leanings and stuff, and it is definitely not good for everybody. And it's not good, period, in that you can't unqualifiedly say it's good. You have to say, well, it's generally good. You can't just say it's good. It's generally good. It may be good for a lot of people. I don't care, because those people's voices dominate. So I don't need to be fair and get like it's not. I shouldn't give voice to the other side. Well, let's see what the other side. Now you want to, no, they already dominate like 99% of discussion about this. So they need they need it to be said from someone who just will just say this can be bad. You shouldn't be saying this stuff. The mind's very powerful. It can damage you badly if you push this stuff on people. I'm just surfing the internet. My throat is sore. So, how's everybody doing? But yeah, exercise, weight. Basically, instead of this idea of numbing myself and making myself feel bliss, it's fuck off. What a loathsome, disgusting idea for me. I feel better when I put stress on myself, not horrible stress, not, stuff that will harm me, like eating junk food and stuff, but like working out, like getting up early, like moving when it's uncomfortable, doing things that are uncomfortable for me. That's what's better for me, because it pushes me to grow. I don't even like saying that word grow. That makes me dissociate too. And it also makes it seem like I'm doing something better than someone else or something. I'm not. What I mean, it just pushes me to develop the things I like and I'm interested in. That's all. And just, gets me moving a little bit. So I'm not so miserable. Um, what was I saying? And meditation, on the other hand, is the opposite of that. Meditation is, what am I trying to think? It's like taking a bullshit shortcut, for me at least. But I don't want to just say for me, because I know it's for a lot of people. I don't know how good it can be for you if you, benefit from the other activities that I do, and nothing is like watching movies for me and stuff. So why would the fuck would I want to try meditating to dissociate? Like, that's why David Lynch, you're full of shit. Stop saying this shit to people. Give them a real info about it if you like it, and give disclaimers and warnings about the potential downsides. But anyways, what's he gonna do? As far as listening to me. going to turn off the computer now. It's sickening. It's horse shit. Oh, so let's change topics. I have some good news. If you don't know, whatever. Most people don't know. I'm no longer going to be a temp at my job starting Monday. I'm going to be full time. Like, onboarded as an employee. I'll have medical insurance. Now I'm getting tired. Yeah, what the hell else do I get? Vacation? What the fuck? Oh, it's coming from the window. Um, yeah, I'll have health insurance. I think dental is covered too, and I don't know. I got to get a vision test or eye test, vision test. Yeah, I think I need new glasses. Just barely, like one step more for the glasses. Like I can still see fine and read everything fine, but anyways, it's really more good to just know, okay, I'm in with the company. I don't have to worry about, like, oh, do they really want me here, or do they think they don't need me? It's not that my performance is bad. My performance is really good. I'm working like 10 to 12 hours a day. But it's more worried, like, well, are they going to decide, oh, we could save money and get rid of Angelo's position? And it's like, no, they actually want me there. I'm getting a raise, too. Just a small raise, but that's incredible for being there 2 months. I mean, that's really good. Who knows in 6 months if I get another, or I don't know when the next one will be. But this is all really good. It's good stuff. And, it's just bizarre to think 2 months ago I was just getting used to the layout of this building, and now it's like I go in, go straight to my job, know what I'm doing. Within 2 hours, I've got so much stuff done. I'm going to do a little workout now, too. I'm moving my table. It's like I said, I gotta work out some. So. What the fuck is my roommate doing? Throughout the night, he's doing this now. He like sniffs his nose for like a minute or two at a time, like, or is he blowing his nose, but not blowing it into a tissue? Just like what's he doing? Snorting cocaine? What the hell? He didn't used to do this, that I remember. So why all of a sudden, why would someone just sniff so intensely, like every few seconds for like a minute at a time, and then stop? I've never heard that before. I've never heard him do that before. Oh, my wind illness is picking up. Keep constant tension. Just some exercise, because, man, I don't feel good if I don't do it. I wonder if David Lynch would like doing this kind of exercise. I realize he's older, so he'd have to take it easier, but if he wouldn't like it, that would confirm even more, like, oh, this meditation bullshit is now, 1,000% not for me. What the fuck is that bug? Bug on the wall. Damn, I don't have bug spray here. It's in the kitchen. Oh, it's a spider. Got it. I'm gonna flush it down. take a leak too. Yep, presenting the whole idea of utopia when you know it's impossible. David Lynch probably owns a bunch of TM clinics, lol. Well, he has a foundation for this stuff. And look, I can believe that he thinks it's helping people, as sickening as that is for me to say. And you know, it already troubles me when I see something and I think, well, I'll get into it, but I really don't like the personality of someone talking about it. And I'm not talking about just Lynch. It's a little irritating the way his affect, the way he talks about it, but I don't mean just the sound of his voice. I wouldn't make fun of someone for their voice. I'm saying, like, just the way he chooses to talk. Like, this donut is sweet. It's like this weird kind of pretense, but whatever. It's fine. He is who he is. But there's this other guy who, I don't know if it's makeup or what. It's like this weirdly, like cherubic face. He's like in his 50s. He has this foundation for transcendental meditation. He does the stress-free or success without stress podcast. And I already just didn't like him. He's like this practice can help anyone. Now it's not just stress relief. Here's what it is. Say you're driving in your car and you notice a tree on the side of the road, like that kind of thing. I'm like, this bullshit already fucking rubs me the wrong way. And this guy sounds like trouble, but I'll listen, I'll try it. Sure enough, it is not fucking for me. So I'm glad this bullshit ass thought is out of my head that TM might help me. Let's keep doing this one. Again, this is so much better for me than Transcendental meditation. Holy shit. And I bet, by the way, it's not nothing wrong with anyone's bodies, but I didn't notice anybody in that good a shape at the TM, videos I saw in the audience where David Lynch was giving a talk. Nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is it shows me I'm striving for something different. I don't want to lose my desires and all that shit for bliss or whatever. Like, if they're not exercising hard, that shows me that exercise would make them miserable in some way. Or, dieting better and all that stuff. And for me, I want to be in that discomfort of being hungry, of, striving, rather than just feeling blissed out. Go fuck yourself. And that just confirms for me even more so that that TM is not for me. And so that's good. It's good to know. Like I said, it sounds inherently negative. I'm not trying to put down anyone for how they look or whatever. I'm just saying, I know I'm going after something different from them. I wish they had elucidated that more clearly so I didn't cause this stress or damage or trauma to myself that Transcendental meditation did. But this is good stress. I feel 100 times better doing that than TM. You imagine a donut. This is a donut. It is sweet. A glazed donut is one of the sweetest things you will ever eat. Exercise is 1,000 times sweeter than the sweetest donut. That kind of fake ass, phony ass bullshit, the way he's talking, fuck off. Like, I can safely say that because now I can say you're hurting people by telling them that. You're hurting my brain by talking in that weird way. This donut is sweet. Can't you talk like a human being? Just present it like a human way. Like, look, everybody knows donuts are sweet. They're delicious, they're tasty, they're fattening, probably not good for us. Transcendental meditation, just talk like a fucking human being, alright? And It's not just for disagreeing with how he talks or not liking it or rubbing the wrong way. I'm saying this stuff. It's because he's saying something that is hurting people. It's hurting people who transcendental meditation is not good for, and they should be able to know that and hear something about it before they get into it. I didn't know that. Some kind of paint back there. Oh boy. Let's see if you can get a view out the window behind me. That's kind of cool. It doesn't make much of a difference, whatever. If with a better camera and lens, it would look better. Like where you could see out the window and the building next to me, the light coming up from the street. And now at least this turned off any. I only had like a 1% interest in what the idea or curiosity or into what Buddhism is. This turned me off to it. Yes, I know transcendental meditation is not Buddhist meditation. But I'm saying this it kind of uncovers for me the dark side, the negative side I always dislike about religion, which is, you know, self-annihilation, compulsion, you know, lying, telling people, oh, this will help you, this is definitely good. You know, the hating of this life, of this world, and wanting it, to be out of it. And it's all fake, it's all made up. Doesn't matter which religion you go to. Like I say, I don't care what you call yourself, or the Dalai Lama or whatever. You put your pants on like everybody else. You piss and shit like everybody else too. Do transcendental meditators do that? No, I bet they say, oh no, you shouldn't stress your. But why doesn't the Dalai Lama work out like this? What the fuck? What good is all that meditation if it doesn't let you enable you? I don't even like to think. Fuck that word, fuck it all. I'm already feeling better exercising. Man, I gotta stretch good before I go to bed, or my muscles are gonna be burning tomorrow morning. Working out in the morning, and I do stretch in the morning, my muscles don't burn. But if I work out at night before bed, oh man, I feel it the next day. Notice I'm not jerking my arms around. I'm doing smooth motions to constantly apply tension. Wow. Feeling better already. And now I'm just bothered that, see, why did Transcendental Meditation fuck me up to where I'm not feeling into my screenwriting now? I don't feel like myself. If it's so good for everybody, bullshitters. I mean, if I'm going to tell someone to get into something, I have a responsibility to tell them, you know, the downsides of it or the different aspects of it that they may not like. Hearing all that noise from outside the window. I don't know how well you can hear it on the phone I'm filming on, but it's cool. I like hearing the street noise, even if it's a little bit too jarring in a way. Gonna do the back. By the way, if you work in an office or at a computer a lot, this back workout has saved me so much pain and trouble. Because when you're hunched over like this at the computer a lot, think about it. Your back muscles are spreading like over here, spreading out. You want to do a back workout like this, tighten them, strengthen them, stress them, so your muscles are kind of more keeping you upright and erect and stuff. And so you're not hunched over and in pain. I would be in so much pain just from leaning over. And when I do these back workouts like this, it's just kind of like rowing. Here, I'll show you more, like a better view. Picture sort of what the back muscles are doing, like if you saw one of those medical textbooks. They're contracting, they're flexing, they're expanding. This helps so much with working at a computer. Notice it's like my arms aren't really changing shape that much. I'm trying to really use the back muscles to like pull my arms back rather than it's like just doing this. I'm not moving my whole arms as much. Forearms. Oh, by the way, I had to park my car like 6, 7 blocks away tonight. But at least now I know where there are apartments and housing where there's plenty of street parking. maybe I'll move by where I parked sometime. And at least if I wanted, I could stay parked there all day. So now I know that. Yeah, boy. Oh well, at least if I went through that shit, hopefully you all can learn about this and know, there's something wrong with transcendental meditation. Just something. I'm not saying it's all wrong, even though to me it's all wrong, but I know plenty of people say it helps them. Jerry Seinfeld's a big proponent of it. He says he's been doing it for like 40 years. The whole idea is sickening to me. I don't want to fucking feel bliss. I don't want to be free of stress. I enjoy, well, stress, and I enjoy not having bliss. And really, why don't, they can't explain why that's so desirable. And why don't they work out hard like I do? That's nice. Nice little workout. Do some squats. Ooh, still having dissociative thoughts with that TM shit. But it's interesting. It's weird in that now the dissociation is more associated with sort of a Buddhist thing as opposed to a Christian thing. And it really gives me insight into the bullshit that is Christianity. To know that you can get these sensations from other religion, or, I know, again, TM is not a Buddhist practice. Maybe there are Buddhists who practice it, but the fact that it comes from, it's evolved over the years, different forms of meditation, and this one jerk off made this one, and I'm sure it's been influenced over the year. All the influences that came to him had many Buddhist origins. Okay, like I said, I have to stretch or my muscles will be burning like a motherfucker while I'm sleeping and when I wake up. even the trouble of stretching, it's always kind of boring to me. I like that I push myself to make it interesting by putting the stress on myself to do it hard. I don't want to be numbed out with meditation. Anyways, I made my point on that. You know, be careful if you're getting into it. In fact, I'd probably say just don't. Just because there needs to be somebody saying that, you know. Somebody's got to get people interested in what's not good about meditation. Stretch the other leg. And right now, it's like I'm only operating at 70% capacity because I'm kind of gone numb. So I don't feel my emotions, I don't feel my creativity. Fuck off, David Lynch, with all that. This will make you more creative. Bullshit. Stop making shit up. Just say, hey, it can work for some people. I don't even tell people, oh, exercise will make you more. I don't think I've ever said that exercise will make you more creative or whatever. I said, it helps me, it's important for me, it's good for me. If you like that and take something from that, you know, do it well. That's it. Even though I'm pretty sure exercise is better for people in general than transcendental meditation. Okay, I can't say I'm pretty sure because I haven't looked into everything, you know, one way or the other, but it seems like the benefits of exercise are far greater and for a far greater portion of people than transcendental meditation. And even those words are making me dissociate. Oh, my windowless. I'm getting ready for sleep. The windowless. Giving me a different form of nausea. You know what I mean? Check out this view from my window. Whoa. That is so cool that I can just make out a skyline there. And over here, that lights of this thing block out the lights. Really. Yeah, there you go. You see that high rise, whatever that is, a hotel, offices, whatever. That's so cool. And a neighboring building. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna go. Time to go to sleep. My throat is sore from ranting. So, thanks for watching. Don't engage in transcendental meditation. Somebody has to say that. If only just to get your attention on why it's potentially bad. For me, it's bad. And good night.